Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Virgos in late July? We're getting very close to Virgo season. It's not too far off. Let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in late July. What's the energy? What's the vibe? Let's see what we could pick up on here, right here in the front. Okay. Painting the roses red is a very particular type of energy where it's like, nope, needs to be just right. This is how it needs to be. This is how it needs to happen. Either that or it's an energy that's like really trying to keep itself busy. It doesn't feel pointless to me. It just feels like it's very particular about something. Like it has to be this way. So I'm not sure if that's a vibe you're feeling or if it's someone you're connected to. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate the like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So again, to me, I always read these more of an intuitive way. And when I think of someone painting roses red, it's like, all right, why would you do that? Would it be to cover up imperfections? Would it be to make it perfect, keep it ideal? Are you trying to keep yourself busy with something? So for some of you, it could be any and all of those energies right here. For a portion of you, if you've been overthinking a lot, this could be spirit saying like, all right, you might need something to keep your hands busy or keep your mind busy. That could be okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with trying to have perfection with things. Nothing wrong whatsoever about that. Obviously, we want everything to be ideal, but sometimes that's pretty rare in life, right? Like there's always going to be something that's just a little off. There's always going to be something that's not quite perfect. And I'm the type of person where I believe that there is perfection in imperfection, if that makes any sense. So again, if you're dealing with somebody that's like really, really strict, really set in their ways, this energy could just be pointing at that. But I don't feel like we need to overcomplicate this. We're just going to leave it right there for now. Let's get into tarot. She could keep painting those roses. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, and we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Virgo collective. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Emotional Warning, and it did fit a theme that I've been seeing for a lot of the Zodiac, where there were extremes. There were like real high highs, there were low lows, and it did feel like it was on an emotional level. So whether it was with you or somebody else, it's like there were unpredictable swings of feelings where it's like, I feel great, I feel awesome, I feel perfect. And then it's like, wow, what's going on here? The energy seems to shift around. So hopefully you haven't had a rough week, but we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Virgo, please. Late July. Let's get these first ones out here nice and quick. There we go. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, sturdy. And it just feels like very particular. It's still. That's like an energy I'm getting here. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like the 9 of Pentacles. It's usually pretty good. It's usually pretty firm. I do prefer an action card in position number 1. But the 9 of Pentacles is nice. Let's get a couple more. Lovers, cool. So it's intriguing that we have a very singular energy and then we have a pair. Yeah, obviously, right? Let's get one more here and see what's happening. We could be looking at your energy and we could be looking at someone else's in particular as well, the way this energy flows. 6 of Cups. So yeah, soul bonds, soul ties could be at the forefront here. Now, for those of you watching this for career and work, I'm not just going to hone in only on relationships and soul ties, like, because we do have pentacles. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I like the elemental mixture. It does feel quite more balanced than what I was picking up last week, because we have Earth. That's your power element. That's something that really agrees with Virgo energy. So I like it. It's firm. It can represent work, it can represent stability, the material world, family, all that kind of stuff. It's very predictable and there's routine with it. We have air, which is the realm of the mind, thought processes, but this seems to be okay. And then we have water right on the back end. That's another complementary energy for Virgo. So it's like, all right, this feels okay, this feels comfortable, but it's like we have these energies that we do need to look into further because these could definitely be the energy of a different person that you're dealing with here. So let's go through and build this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Nine of Pentacles. Now, I spoke about it a little bit as we were going through the cards. You see her, she's standing in her garden, she's holding her pet bird, surrounded by those pentacles. Beautiful, stable type of energy. Now, the positives of this, it's a card of blessings, it's a card of abundance, it's a card of wins. So I love it for that. This is someone that has everything they want, everything they need. So if you're going through a bit of a difficult time, there could be some nice stability coming in when this card shows up. It is lone wolf type of energy where it's like, no, I will do this on my own. I need to do this on my own. I'm like single focused. No one, I don't want anyone to help me with this. So again, there's like a singular independent type of energy with this Nine of Pentacles, which isn't a bad thing. But when we get to the challenging aspects of the Nine of Pentacles, it can be very set in its ways to the point of stubbornness. Now, again, for some of you, that could be a good thing if you have a pretty set routine or set in your ways and whatever. I mean, that could be a right. Some of you might be dealing with a very stubborn individual. That's the shadow side of this card, too, because it's someone that will not give ground, where it's like, nope, this is my position and I will not flex on it. So we're just going to have to see how this all plays out. The energy in its worst form could feel rather stuck, like stuck in a rut or stuck in place, where it's like, oh, I'm almost at the Ten of Pentacles, but I'm not quite there yet. So there is room for improvement with the energy. It looks good. Now, moving to the center, we have the Lovers. Okay, now back in the day, this card used to be called the Choice. Big Gemini energy, so you might be connected to Gemini. You may have some Gemini placements yourself. And yeah, it used to be called the Choice. So sometimes it can represent a crossroads. Do I go left? Do I go right? What decision do I make? What path do I walk down? But obviously, when it's called the Lovers, it represents someone that we are very near and dear. They're very near and dear to our hearts. This could represent any soul tie, soul connection, whether it is a literal lover, a really good friend, a family member. It's someone that takes up residence in our heart. So I really like this card. It's usually very smooth, silky, easy flowing, easy going type of energy. Notice it does have the Archangel Raphael, so this is a very healing type of energy as well, where it's like, oh, there's just something about this that is very healing for me. Now, there is a challenge with this card as well, and I just want to mention, if you're not going through any interpersonal things, we could just be looking at the flow of energy, in which case this could be good. It's just like very loose and flowing, which is nice. Total opposite of what we have here in the front. Now, the issue, obviously, could be disharmony. It could be indecision. What do I do? Type of energy. So we do want to look at this further. Or we could just simply be looking at the energy of someone that's very important to you when we clarify it. Now, moving to the back end, a very, very similar vibe starts to show up because we have the Six of Cups. And you see the two children there, they're sharing a cup. This is a huge card of history, but this is also a card of soul ties, soul connections, people that are very close to us. So whether it's the same individual showing up twice or whether it's two different individuals showing up here in the energy, I like the Six of Cups. It generally represents people that have been in our lives longer or people that we have a history with. Now, if we're not looking at people, this could be a very reminiscing or reminiscent type of energy where it's like I'm taking a trip down memory lane. Could be thinking about someone. This can be a little bit of a daydreamy type of card. Maybe someone's thinking about you quite a bit. I do like the Six of Cups, and sometimes it could indicate a return of a situation or a return of a person. We'll just have to see what the clarifiers are. But similar to the Lovers, in the challenging aspect of this, it could be, falling out with somebody that you're really close to, or there could be some sort of separation between you and a person. So we're just going to have to see how it plays out. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Virgo, let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What is happening for the lovely Virgo collective? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get that Nine of Pentacles going. What's that Nine of Pentacles here? Cool. Predictable is better in this time. We have the moon in reverse here. So big Pisces energy. When I see the moon in reverse, yes, it could be a surprising energy. Yes, it could be something that pops up out of nowhere. Usually the moon is just like very shrouded. So for some of you, this could be really good, like especially with the blessings and abundance and the moon in reverse. This could be a surprising win, unexpected win type of energy, which I'm not sure if I've seen that for you in recent weeks. I might have, but it's showing up here right now, which is a really good thing. But then again, I also feel like predictable is better. So routine is better. So if you've been going through some things right now where your energy has been all over the place or you've been scattered in any kind of way, Spirit's like, all right, have a routine, like a daily routine, step by step by step. That's kind of been something we've been picking up since the beginning too, where structure is better. So whatever things you're dealing with, a structured approach is best. But aside from that, yeah, those are my main two messages. This could 100% be an unexpected or a surprising win or victory here, which I really like. Okay, especially if you're connected to a water sign or Pisces. But yeah, just structure. For some reason, that's coming through very strong this week. We're just going to keep moving and see what the lovers have to say, because these two cards are very, very similar. So we want to see how they play off of each other. Let's move into the lovers. I'd say that's a pretty good way to start. That's a pretty good way to start. So why are the lovers here? Why do we have Adam and Eve? So let's see what's happening for Virgo. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. I like this. I really like this energy, actually. So we have the Knight of Wands in the upright underneath the lover. So you may be connected to a fire sign when this shows up, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is an energy that's coming in hot, where it's like it never leaves, if that makes sense. I know that's like a very particular type of energy, but it's like, no, I'm here. I've always been here. I'm always going to be here. To me, it just feels very reliable, which I know is odd because some people say the Knight of Wands could be unreliable. Okay, so when I see this, it's like, yeah, no, this energy feels like it's always have been, always will be a similar dynamic. So just know, again, if you're not connected to a fire sign, Spirit could be telling you something about a connection or a person where it's like, no, they are who they are. That's how they've always been. That's how they'll always be. Predictable, potentially. Now, the Knight of Wands is very fiery. It's very fast. Another message I could pull here for a lot of Virgos, you might have a certain magnetism about you in this time. So again, whether it's people from the past, people that you're currently dealing with, it's like these people are flocking to me for whatever reason. And I know Virgo gets the Hermit card for a reason. Sometimes you might get overwhelmed by like too much communication or too many people coming in. I'd say that's the only thing to watch out for, because to me it's like energy is flocking to you. So we have like this beautiful energy here in the front, and we have this energy flocking to you in the center. It feels good to me though. Let's keep moving. If you are healing from something, when I see the lovers with the Knight of Wands, it's very, very good for healing and improvement. Whether it's like mental health, emotional health, physical health, really good. That's a vitality type of card. So let's keep moving. Let's see what's up with the Six of Cups. So we have pretty good energy here this week, Virgo. And if you're cross-watching for a Virgo, same goes. The energy does feel pretty solid to me. But let's see what's up with that Six of Cups. Then we'll do our quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Six of Cups here? Please. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I saw it for you a few weeks ago, and it's still here. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's like, no, I need to touch base with that again. Or I'm going to touch base with it again. I don't know why it's showing up that way. So the Wheel of Fortune is usually very sudden. It's very quick. It's very karmic. It does speak about cycles. And it's good no matter what way we receive it. So yes, we have beautiful energies that could span multiple areas of life in the short term. That's what I really like. But this energy that I've been seeing for you for a few weeks, it's still here in a pretty big way. Six of Cups, a card of the past, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, returning. The past returning in some sort of way. So again, if that's not a person, that could be a situation that you've dealt with before, or something reminiscent of something you've dealt with before. Because it's like, no, I want to touch base with this again, or I want to see where it is now. It's like there's a certain mystery to it. It's like a checkup or a check-in type of energy, but it does feel like a return to me of something. So just know, along with the magnetism, along with the beautiful, surprising win victory energy, we do have this vibe of things circling back. I mean, it's been showing up for a few weeks. It's showing up here once again, very strong on the back end. So I guess it depends on what your situation is, if you like that message or not. But let's just put it right here. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. But if you kind of look at the box, I mean, I like the energy for the most part this week. It's a lot of positive, definitely different than last week. But we're starting here with the Nine of Pentacles and the Moon in reverse here. So for some of you, that could be a surprising, unexpected winner victory. Beautiful. Love it. Claimable type of vibe. If things have been a little erratic, if things have been a little wild, unpredictable for you, maybe Spirit's asking you just have some sort of routine or whatever situations you're dealing with it, the more structure, the better. That's just how it feels. Moving to the center, I have the Lovers with the Knight of Wands in the upright. If you're not connected to a fire sign, this to me feels like it's an energy that's like, I've always been here and I always will be. So that could be really good for some of you. There's a certain reliability to the energy I'm picking up here in the center. But if we're casting a big net for a lot of you, you might have a certain magnetism about you in this time where it's like people, they're just coming at you. So I'm not sure if you like that. I'm not sure if you don't. On the back end, we have the Six of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. So to me, it did feel like a checkup or a check-in type of energy. It could be a return of a situation or even an individual here. I mean, it's pretty much simple, straightforward. And it makes sense with all the magnetism I'm seeing throughout the whole entire spread. So I think it's good. I think it's claimable for the most part. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get your shadow card out here. What do we got for Virgo, please, my guides? What do we got? Thank you. All right, Three of Pentacles. So this kind of goes against the energy we see here in the front. Now, for some of you, watch out for any issues with the people you have to work with, especially since we've had cards like the Lovers, the Six of Cups, especially with this solitary, because there may be something that you either want to keep to yourself or work on your own, but like other people are trying to help you or like get involved with it. That's a very, very specific energy I'm picking up here. But to me, the Three of Pentacles either represents what we do for a living, what we do for work. So again, watch out for issues in that realm, or it's the group of people around us. So in this time, you might be a little extra sensitive to the energies of those around you. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind, especially if you're sensitive to these energies to begin with. I feel like that could be heightened with this showing up in the shadows. So there could be certain things that you're feeling that aren't all yours when that card's here. And watch out for funky group dynamics too. But we're just going to leave it at that, Virgo. That's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My digital calendar's over there, so you could go check out availability. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. It's beautiful, it's unique, and it definitely fits the season. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, for all the uses that tarot has to offer, which do you think is best? Do you like using it for love situations, personal, financial, business, you name it? You put it in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.